Okay, the tournament's starting in less than a minute. Hello to everyone just joining. Got a lot of big names on top. Oh, Hans is a point above Magnus. Wow. But kind of distant from Hikaru. Hikaru beat Magnus, or Hikaru beat Hans in the earlier title Tuesday. In the last round. Okay, here we go. First game. Trying to be focused here. I don't quite get the chance to play f3. This looks okay though. Bishop d3. Eventually I want to play pawn g4. We might see knight d7, some trades. Which I'm probably okay with. Knight d7, I castle. Takes, I take with bishop. All the minor pieces are off the board. I pawn e6. If takes, I take on g6. I'm also maybe threatening to do this and then take the rook and create the pin. I'm feeling good. If castle queenside, I could either take or, okay, quite happening. I take, it makes sense. Just want to go for e4. Mine with queen b3. Should probably play king b1 too. e4 could run into queen f4. Although here I think it's fine. Queen f4, king b1 takes. Stuff happens. Do I go for e5? Go for this first. Tickling a7. Do I want to take it? Rook a8. Queen d4. I think now I play king b1. Defending a2. Probably threatening to take now. It doesn't look like any frames have dropped, which is good. G4. I'm just trying to make open files on the king side. If takes, I have queen f2 to win the rook. Not sure what I'm threatening. Maybe just e5. Get the queen to f6. Also rook g1 ideas. F4 is kind of tempting. Or take. Queen a3 first. Threatening this and this. Now pinning the c pawn. play g5. Running mate in 1. The queen can't easily defend without dropping c6. King can't run that way. This actually traps a rook and defends the pawn. Okay. That was a pretty clean game. I feel good about that one. 29 moves. 96.1 accuracy. Yeah, it felt very clean, like from start to finish. Yeah, I think probably when I've had this position before, I go for 95. I played this kind of trying to bait this so I could play this. And very often the queen goes here and knight goes here anyway. And then what happened was all pretty smooth. Engine likes 93. Yeah, e6 was nice. Engine says it's close to equal. Always felt like I had some pressure though. Difficult position for black to play too, especially once the opponent got low on time. For move 23, the rook doesn't hang because rook f4. Well, the line would be, I think the line I mentioned was if takes, the pawn can't be taken because queen f2. And then later I kind of just abandoned the king side, knowing that if black does try and snag a pawn, at least the files open up. And I have some targets on the queen side as well. Yeah, like if black snags a pawn, then I have rook f1. Even stronger to take first. And it's just so hard for black to find a move to hold everything together here. Even though it's equal material, just this thread is hard to stop. So, good start. I'm trying to avoid the Swiss Gambit. Earlier, I had a very slow start. I think I started 1.5 out of 4 earlier. We'll take it game by game, move by move. No brilliant moves. But that's okay. Few games going. Okay, this is the most interesting one still left. White's trying to win, but it's a draw. Thank you, Will Schertzer. Happy 30 months. Also, thank you earlier to Regin Bogan Rupel for the 3 months. I did turn off the alert sounds in TTS. I'm going to try and have full focus. Looks like players are playing this out. Yeah, all the top players appear to be playing. Even Fabiano, who's at Tata Steel, and Erigaisi. So like Tata Steel competitors also joining in. It's got to be late there. Is tomorrow? Tomorrow might be a rest day at Tata Steel though. Oh, maybe I'll get a chance to play a big name. Wow, so White committed this pawn to g5. Not that it makes a difference. Not sure who's playing for a win. Okay. Next game starting momentarily. Here we go. Taking a move? I think it's just this and this. Remember some a5, a4 idea. Some idea of just taking in bishop c6, which is no longer playable. Queen a5. Rook f c8. Have to watch out for knight d5. I think it's okay. Like this and this. White does have this bind. And sometimes these positions are reached where it's not clear what either side should do. White's pretty much optimized the pieces. We might see some waiting move. Queen b4 is kind of interesting. Tickling the c pawn, the c4 pawn. I'm probably not threatening to take it though, but maybe I am. Like a3, queen b3, if takes, knight d5, I just take on b5. Yeah, it's the type of move to try and drain the opponent's time. Just kind of working. There's ideas of a3 as well. Not sure after b takes a3, but white goes for this. I probably have to take. I mean, can I take here? Everything's defended. Wait, rook c2. Rook c2, queen e5, f4, queen h5. That's a big mess. Bishop d3 at the end of that. Looks like a fun line, though. It's risky. Calculating rook c2, queen e5, f4. Queen e4, bishop d3, bishop d5. Bishop e4, bishop e4. I have 2 minor pieces and 2 pawns for queen. Okay, so opponent's trying to prepare this. F5 doesn't work. I take a knight b4. I had this idea in my previous title Tuesday, one of the games, also stemming from dragon-like position. A1. Queen B2. Just camping out in white's territory. Maybe A3 eventually. Okay, we could trade queens. Hmm. I messed up. Ah! I flag. I couldn't get the move in. Oh, it's a great position too. Taking wasn't necessary. I should just look for some improving move or even a waiting move. Yeah, like king f8 or h5, like top 2 engine moves. And taking is still fine, but I burned time looking for tactics here against the bishop. And then, yeah, then it just got a bit murky. And then originally I wanted to take here, but then I realized there's rook d2, which maybe I should still go for. What to do? I was happy with that game too. There's a crazy line in this variation. I was calculating f4, queen takes e4, bishop d3, and then bishop takes d5. Engine says white's slightly better, but I think this would have been fun to play for black. I have the center pawns, I have all my minor pieces. Only +6. That didn't quite happen. Earlier. So where did I burn my time? Okay, I guess I burned my time here before taking on b2. It was kind of critical. Thank you, Tessa Thompson. Happy 5 months. What does dynamic position mean? Dynamic position refers to a position that is very susceptible to change. Usually when there's a lot of tension, things can transform very easily. Usually more tactical, more forcing moves. Static position refers to when things are a bit more, at least when the structure doesn't change as much. But yeah, this middle game was very dynamic, like especially once I took on b2 and then it gets pretty crazy. Would you ever consider streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the same time? Yes. But first I just want to try streaming on YouTube. I have to figure out like the live streaming settings, moderation settings. There's also requirements specifically for YouTube for Title Tuesday. regarding chat, but it's definitely a goal of mine. Okay, moving on. Here we go. So kind of a Swiss Gambit. 1 out of 2. Have to stay focused. Considering 94 here, needs to a lot of trades. But the knight's not doing too much otherwise. So I could take... And d5 looks interesting. It really closes things down. Let's go for it. e5 might happen. I have queen a4. It's tempting. I'm gonna focus on the king side though. Yeah, black can't really break through. Bishop's not really doing much. I think I want to play e4 and reroute the bishop to e3. We might see h5. Yeah, the danger is having the position closed down completely, which I don't want. But the ideal setup is, yeah, bishop e3, queen d2, probably h4, rook h1, and then create some break. Black might be blockading, but maybe not. h4 is interesting. Let's try it. Sack a pawn. Get the half open H file. And there is queen e7. If I take rook h1, queen goes back, I take... Is that just winning? Honestly, that looks really good. Because if the queen goes back, I take, and then the king doesn't really have anywhere to hide. I guess there's takes, and king f6. Which we don't see. I mean, this should be winnable, but probably still takes work. I might end up sacking. Threatening to take and play g5. f6 is coming. Invasion begins. Okay. And it ends as soon as it began. That's nice. Very close position, but still found my opening. Yeah, objectively, like if this were stockfish against stockfish, maybe black is holding somehow. At some point, I mean, I could probably sack on c5 and then clean up the pawns. Like in the classical game, that's probably the way to go. But once black played g5, then it gave me some squares to work with. So that was round 3. I'm 2 out of 3. Down a little bit of rating, but that's okay. Trying to play good chess. I think overall the games have been like decently controlled. Round 2 game, I just kind of crumbled in time pressure. 84.9% accuracy. So still some games left this round. Actually, just one game. This is a classic draw. Andy Woodward, the new puzzle world champion. Although I don't know if I'm allowed to say puzzle world champion without getting threatened by some chess organization. But he's a puzzle champion. Looks like, yeah. I mean, if the pawn ever queens, it's a theoretical draw because the queening square is the wrong color, doesn't match the bishop. Thank you, Alfar. First time prime. Also, question from Namkle, who says, I find closed positions like that very hard to find a way through. Any tips? Yeah, sometimes closed positions require a different thought process, where it's thinking more abstractly, like thinking what the ideal squares are for your pieces, understanding what the pawn breaks are, if there are any pawn breaks, what the potential sacrifices are, and then optimizing your pieces to set up the breakthrough. Promote to bishop, nice. It's actually clever because black might be pre-moving, expecting promote to queen would be a check, but promote to bishop is not a check. It's a decent try. Okay, playing Jack Rodgers. Also, thanks for all the prime subs. 3 primes in a row. Appreciate it. I've played Jack Rodgers many times. I actually don't know what I want to play against this. I'll play h6 and c5. What's the line? I think it's g5, bishop g7. I'm forgetting though. I don't think I've ever like seriously studied this specific line. Yeah, at this point I'm kind of just improvising. Looks like a fun position. Maybe I could have considered d4. So I'm down the pawn. Have a bit more development, a bit more space. White's kingside is undeveloped. h4. g4 comes to mind, actually. It's an interesting move. I'll go for g4. I wasn't sure about bishop c4. Here takes. Maybe I take with queen. And g2 is a target. You have a very fresh position. c4 doesn't happen. Some knight f4 ideas as well. Yeah, if king f1, I play a6, takes, and then I'm threatening this and this. We might see g3. g3, I'm wondering if I can still play a6. Also have knight g2 to take. Actually, g3, knight g2, king f1, I take, and then a6. Could throw in rook d8. I'm scared about queen d6. Probably not. I'm still down a pawn, but position looks really nice. These pawns are weak. The rook's out of play. Now I have takes. Takes 92. Or might be the best way, but we can start with bishop f6. And then f4. I just want to play f3. The mate in 2. Okay. I got low on time there. I was just making sure I'm seeing things correctly. It's such a weird position. And I was dominating for a good portion of this game. Like, once my pawns got rolling here, a very difficult position for white. That was a fun one. I took some risk in the opening. I had some big memories like studying this move g5. But then I didn't remember like anything specific. e5 is already like not a good move. Fast move knight a6. That's kind of cool. Attacking the pawn of b4, then black can take with the pin. Yeah, you don't see a checkmate like this every day. And 2 bishops mating the king in the center. Sad rook on h2. Maybe I could have rubbed it in with queen takes c2. The second best move. And then oh no my queen and then checkmate. Actually, if queen takes c2, let's say like knight c4 or something, then queen d2, oh no my queen. Force opponent to take and then checkmate. Thank you, I'm Oceanborn. Happy 44 months. So we're on break. That was the 4th round. 6-minute break after round 4. Are games still going? There are. I'm 3 out of 3 out of 4. Get some water. A very tricky position here. It's almost perpetual, but not quite. Ooh. Can't always trust the eval bar in such endings. Wow. This doesn't quite work. It's probably going to be a draw. But anything can still happen. Oh, thank you, Namkol, for the best of luck wishes. Cowtone was asking, what is your TT record? It's 8.5 out of 11, which I got last week. Before that, it was 8 out of 11. I did post the tournament video to YouTube last week. Yeah, eventually this is going to be repetition. Okay. We are on break. Got some time to kill. See the standings. So I'm a point out of first. First place features a bunch of players with perfect scores. 25 players with 4 out of 4. Okay, number of grandmasters with 3 points. Oh, including Arjun Erigaisi, who maybe I could play. I feel like it's going to be close between playing up or down. There are a lot of 2600s with 3. I might play down again. There's a lot of players with 3. Yeah, it does look like I'll play down. There's a question. What is the highest number of checks played in one game? I'm not sure. Maybe someone can write a script to determine that. Actually, there might be a website that, let me see, chess records. There's a website that keeps track of like random records in chess games. Oh, I found it. I have so many things open between OBS and chat and Proctor and now this page. So there's this weird site. I had to Google it. It's Chess Records by Tim Krabbe. And the greatest number of checks was, if you combine both sides together, was 141 between Wegner and Johnson. I think we can find this here. This game. Yeah, the most castles in one game is a funny one. I assume this is some like crazy long endgame. Probably a queen ending. Do both players make a new queen? They do. Yeah, and then the checks begin, etc., etc., etc. Eventually it ends in a draw. Anyway, this is a cool site to see like very obscure records. Let's get back to my main scene. Got about 10 seconds. Here we go. Thank you, French Salmon. Happy 34 months. I'm playing down. Okay. Have a London. Debating what I want to do here. Play some main line. Bishop d3 signifies it takes f4. I haven't looked at it in a while. Pretty sure there's queen a6. But then queen b3. I kind of forgot how this goes. Queen a6, queen b3. Queen a5? It's queen a5. a3, knight c6. I may have just confused the line though. I wonder if like a3 I can play this move. And then castling. Yeah, let's try this. So if takes. I mean, I'm threatening rook c1, so white has to be careful. Now this knight is tied down to defending this knight. b7's undefended, but if white takes it, the queen gets trapped. Not super thrilled here. A little bit uncomfortable. But still playable. Like bishop e8, f6. Yeah, there was a nice sequence towards the end there. If rook f2, I can play knight e4, rook f1, and then rook takes f3. Takes and then fork. Here, takes, fork. I guess if knight g1 I can take with check. Nice game. Nice little grind there. Very positional. I think I just confused myself in the opening. Like, I had vague memories of looking at this line. From both sides, actually. I was pretty sure this was the way to go. Engine likes bishop d7. If a3? Queen a6? Say queen b3? Oh, here rook c8. Wow. And white's not in time to castle. And if takes, check here. Oh, some crazy line. Knocks down a piece, but white's king is on g3. It's probably worth like studying this in more depth. The position I got was also, I think, fine, but nothing special. Yeah, white was slightly better. But eventually I got some advantage. I was happy with bishop g6. It didn't come to mind right away. But white wants to take and then play rook g1, so like if I want to play this move, I have to do it soon. So, yeah, if you're just joining, that was round 5. I'm 4 out of 5. I think it's likely I'll play up next game. Still some perfect scores. Got some big names with 4 points. I'm tied with Hikaru and Duda. Akobian, I don't see his name too often. Also with 4 points. Bortnik. Yeah, I think I'm going to play a good player next game. We'll see. Opponent wants to chat. GG. Was that my opponent? Were they Caterpillar? They were. Okay, I can say GG as well. Yeah, sometimes I'll play someone in Title Tuesday whose username I'll recognize, but whose name I won't recognize. Because in these tournaments, they use people's real names. Okay. I'm playing a strong FM. Here we go. I dodged Hikaru. Definitely under pressure here. Might already be too late. Knight f4. Knight f1. Could take, play g3, knight f4. So risky. Am I in time? G7's coming. Wondering about f4. Looks very wrong. Other idea is this and then maneuver the bishop. Also feels very wrong. I'm going for it because I don't see a clear win for black. It's just going to be uncomfortable for a while. Okay, I feel less uncomfortable. It's still a little bit uncomfortable. What to do? I was holding on. I burned too much time earlier. I got my knight trapped too. That bishop d3 was just a really bad move. Like anything else. Okay. I was worse for most of the game. Something went wrong from the opening. Yeah, I knew this rook c1 move. I didn't really remember much else. Bishop e2. Engine likes g4. The castling is also fine. Yeah, I realized right after I played it that like bishop g3 is not the only move. I should have considered knight e1, which counterattacks the knight on h5. And if knight g7, I'm not actually giving black the bishop pair. And if takes, then at least this is a bit more dynamic. Question, did you have knight takes g5? Oh, in this position. Yeah, this doesn't quite work because black takes and then my bishop's still attacked. I could win the knight, but I'd be down a piece. But knight e1 is like a clever way to not make a huge positional concession. So what happened in the game, I gave black the bishop pair, and then black got this bind. It's still playable, just a little bit unpleasant. And yeah, I burned time to try and make sure I'm not getting mated, which I didn't. Black have anything here? Knight a5. Ah, bishop e5 coming. Yeah, the engine will play these positions really well. Engine plays a lot of positions really well. I fought my way to equality. It's not enough. Yeah, once I play bishop d3, it's a hard ending to hold. Yeah, maybe I should have waited. What to do? So 4 out of 6. Magnus on 6. There's one game left. This should be a draw. Okay, next game starting soon. Stafford Gambit time. Never played this opponent before. Okay, we can't really play the Stafford against pawn d4. Pretty sure I'm supposed to take and play c5. I could take. Going for the gradual improvement. d5 is maybe playable. Takes. And then, like, if I take back, there's some eventual bishop h7. Knight takes. So I have 95, which might blunder queen h5 tactics. H6 might make sense. Preventing these shenanigans. Down some time. Bishop f4. Not sure what to do here. I'm really not sure what to do. It's so uncomfortable. I have 4 seconds left. What to do. I'm just losing. Hopefully this will be a good lesson to take away. Position got difficult. Like when I burn time, I think I'm already in big trouble. Let's see though. Yeah, queen b3. Just no option looks good here for black. So maybe I should have... Should I take first? Yeah. Engine likes takes and play the structure. It looks a little bit passive. But then I can kind of just do my own thing. I had a few chances to take as well. Like I thought this would be okay, but clearly it wasn't. So I'm 4 out of 7. Yeah, 4 out of 5 sounded much better from earlier. What to do? One of the top games left. Sam Shankland. Queen is not takeable. White resigned because this move is coming. Oh, we were just watching Frederick's Fane, but this is Rasmus Fane against Hikaru. Hikaru looks like he's holding on for a draw. And this should be a theoretical draw. This is a table-based position, but I don't think there's built-in table base here. Whoa. So toggling Explorer completely changes the notation format. But there's no table base. I guess as white, you have to be careful not to allow the queen trade with your king so far back. I feel like I would just lose to Hikaru in this ending if he were black. But can Hikaru hold on as white? It is a good idea to keep the pawn back. Oh, was there a check-in in here? No, that's still a draw. He's calculating. He goes for it. But this is a draw. King h3. Promote to rook. Okay, that's a funny finish. So, one more round and then a break. Is it time to tilt? Let's try and play a good game. Wait, takes. Queen's on c2. g5, I think it works. And there's king h1, but then g5. Actually, not sure. I feel like I should have studied this at some point. And g5. Bishop g3, take. Knight g4. I could just go back too. Going back. B4 idea. In bishop g3, I take knight g4. Threatening maiden 2. Maybe I could have considered rook h4. But this looks pretty strong. Rook e1 is coming. It's not over. Rook e1 check. Move over. What to do? I'm not seeing it. Might be threatening this type of tactic. Like check here and then take. Take. That should be good. Queen d2, I take. Yeah, that should be good. I go for it now? Probably not. It's a weird situation. Queen f4. Takes. Rook takes. Takes queen f4. Could take on g3. Wasn't sure. Not the cleanest conversion, but got the job done. Again, I just burned so much time looking for tactics. Also, thank you, Coda Carter, for the raid. Appreciate that. Turn off emote only mode. Hope we had a good stream. I just didn't see the knockout punch. H5 was fine. I wanted to go for this. Like originally, I was looking at this, and then this, and then this. I didn't see what to do after Queen F4. So it's good I didn't go for this. Because I was calculating takes on G3. But it just, yeah, it gets messy. This white can take back. Thank you, Saunter Sardine. Happy 10 months. Okay, so Bishop H2 is the best move. It's not like completely winning for black. It's just a little bit better. It actually seemed like I played fine. Rook B4. Walks into Knight D4. Which white missed. So I'm 5 out of 8. 3 more games? 1 game left this round. Battle between German grandmasters. I don't think it's worth watching this, but I'll leave it on. I give my wife's Amazon money to Eric every month. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you don't use your Prime sub, then it goes to waste. You do have to do it manually every month. Some time to kill. Oh, I was playing a streamer. I knew this name sounded familiar. This is Road to GM. We've played before. Yeah, things got very messy around here. Thankfully, I was able to keep control and not flag. OMG, just realized I can subscribe with Prime. Yeah, some people who tune in don't even realize. What's the Fair Play software? So today's the first day that I'm required to use this new software. It's called Proctor. Maybe I can show the explanation. I can also show behind the scenes. So this is my full setup. Got my OBS. This is Proctor. It's basically a browser that records my screen, records 2 different cameras. I have a camera off to the side and behind me, also using my front camera that's being recorded, not just for the stream, but for fair play measures. I also have my dashboard here. This is Twitch chat. And this is the article explaining everything about Proctor. So if people want to learn more, you can Google chess.com Proctor. They're gradually rolling it out and requiring it for players, as far as I understand. So I'm one of the, I guess I'm one of the first group of players to be required to use it from now on. But it was pretty seamless to set up. I think it's good direction especially for prize tournaments. One drawback though is I can't open tabs. I can have multiple tabs open, but there's no way to go to a different website. So if I wanted to bring the game into Lichess, I'd have to have a different browser open. I can't use my usual extensions. There's a one-click extension to bring a game from chess.com to Lichess. Or the Zen mode extension too, which I haven't used in a while. Let me switch back to the main scene. Yeah, eventually all players will be required to use this, which might end up causing the turnout to reduce. I wonder how many players will refuse to use this. It's still a high turnout for today's Title Tuesday. Yeah, there is some, I guess, privacy concerns, but that's kind of the sacrifice when you play in an online prize tournament. So I do understand it. I think it would be nice if they were like transparent about their privacy policy, specifically with Proctor, because I don't know like if everything gets saved and who has access to it. But as a streamer, I don't really have anything to hide. Like I'm used to being recorded and footage being saved. But yeah, I have to make sure I don't like share any sensitive information on my computer screen. Avoid leaking the whatever. What do people leak these days? Credit card info, personal data. But I'm happy that it works pretty smoothly. Like it hasn't really slowed anything down. I did drop some frames earlier, but I think that was more a Wi-Fi issue on my end. It would be interesting to know like how many people are required to use it, like what the feedback is so far. Also, I've been getting this. Oh, because I have a thing open? No. You may not use analysis. That was weird. I got that earlier too. I had a tab open, but I don't think it was analysis. Anyway, okay, let's focus. Jobava London. Had this line earlier. Queen b6, I think a3 is a move. If it takes, I trap the queen. I feel like my opponent's prepared. Play knight d3. Some f3, bishop e5. Wow. So if I take, b2, still untakeable. I don't think I can take this though. Take this, doesn't work. Yeah, this pawn has been undefended for a long time, but it's still defended by tactics, I think. Hmm. I think this is a move I'd play eventually. Realizing g5 could be annoying. Finally going for knight a4. So queen a5, I play c3. Defend the knight with the queen. Idea knight c5. b6, I trap the queen. This could still be annoying. There is knight g2. I check. Some argument to taking the bishop. Wait, I'm just winning material, I think. Maybe there's takes, though. Maybe I should have taken first. Okay, well now bishop f5 is coming. Really bad technique. I went on time. Almost lost that. Oh man. Yeah, I lost my whole advantage there. I got way too relaxed. And taking the bishop is probably good enough to win. I didn't want to commit to that. And then, like, all of a sudden, like, kind of looks scary here. It was still fine, though. What did I do? Oh, yeah, black was threatening mate in 1. So I got scared. I should just play this. Black can't move here because mate in 1. I guess there's takes, but my pawn is faster. Okay. Well, I got the points. There are 2 more rounds to go? 2 more rounds to go. I could still score potentially 8 points. 6 out of 9. Any big names with 6? A lot of title players with 6. Does Hans have 6? No. Wow. Ray Robson is up there and Fabiano. Who's this? Kozak. Perfect score. I'm a half point behind Hikaru. Playing Nico Checa. Okay, strong player. Here we go. 3020. Okay, so calculations takes, queen f3, bishop f5, g4. If I didn't see queen f3, I wouldn't go for this, but okay. Life goes on. Could take queen d4. Tickle the a7 pawn. There's queen f4. Don't really want to trade, but I might have to. So it's imbalanced. Knight versus bishop. On structure differences. I think this maybe. This is actually a pretty deadly threat. I take the bishop. I didn't want to commit. On d4 or b4 looks pretty nice. Can easily get there. Takes. Oh. I have to take. No! I was not expecting that. Oh, it's sad. Kind of sad. Okay, what to do? I was really not expecting rook a6. I think this is still, like, complicated. Okay, black's winning. If I don't blunder a rook, maybe I can fight. Yeah, rook c1 was nice. Fast move king f2. Takes. And take on b7. Interesting. I guess white's somehow winning h6. I had chances. Maybe drawing chances. Ever have winning chances? White was better. I was happy with this line. But it is, like, very imbalanced. Engine likes queen f4, which I didn't play because it seems risky. Like, giving away the queenside pawns. Oops. So white's down 2 pawns here. But there's massive compensation. Rook e3 eventually, rook c1. Did you beat Hans? I didn't play Hans yet. I don't think I'll play him next game. But you never know. I'm 81st. So the first title Tuesday I scored 7. See if I can match that score. Need to win the last round. Some game's still going. Wow, white was very close to flagging. Okay. Oh, this is the last game. Okay, so move 90. Oh, okay, 10 more moves about. Wow. What happened? Black offered the rook trade. White dropped her rook. Ouch. They were 2 moves away from the 50 move rule as well. Okay, here we go. Playing a grandmaster. I'm higher rated. Go for this line. More positional line. Not the most exciting opening, but maybe later it'll get exciting. Very, very positional. Do you have the backward pawn? I'm thinking I just go for the trade. Rook b8. And rook b1. I apologize to the viewers who are witnessing such a non-eventful game. I mean, things can still happen, maybe. I'm still kind of slightly worse with the structure. Yeah, white's gonna push. Probably just try and trade the pawns. I have to watch out for this stuff, yeah. I blunder. I may have actually blundered. Play g6. Oh dear. Oh no. Got too complacent. Stalemate. Chess is a draw. I probably should have lost that somehow. Was I losing? Yeah, I was losing. White had... I was scared of lines like this. H5 takes G6, G7, and then this is just a winning king pawn ending. Eventually black is in zugzwang. Oh, not king f4, but pawn f4, yeah. Okay. Are there like any tactics that game? This game was like purely positional. It was equal like for most of the game until I blundered in the endgame. Yeah, king d6 is so innocuous. So innocent. Like you just assume it's fine, but it wasn't fine. Should just keep my king here and move the knight around. My last opponent is 73 years old. Oh, this is Vahanyan. His last name is spelled differently. I've definitely studied his games. I think he also is like a Queen's Gambit decline specialist, if I remember correctly. That's cool. Okay, who's winning Title Tuesday? Is it Magnus? Oh, Magnus lost to Jodar. Finishes with 8.5. Tie breaks are going to determine the winner. There's a 4-way tie for first. But not all the games are done. Hikaru's still playing. Rook versus Rook. We saw previously this is winnable in some circumstances. Razulov winning on tiebreaks. Fabiano has the worst tiebreaks. Or the nicest tiebreaks. Okay. Well, that's the tournament. Should I keep playing? My rating has dipped today. Could maybe play a game or two more. I'm going to stay using Proctor because it's too cumbersome to like switch out of Proctor. But let me turn off my camera and let's keep it going. I probably won't stay for too long, but let's get a game. Playing Lennis. Have a London. So this is a main line with bishop b5. Classic trap. I'm not actually winning the pawn though. Or am I? Take. Knight d4 is coming. Question about my hair care routine. I don't really have a big routine when it comes to hair. I get haircuts maybe every 2 to 3 months. Shampoo, conditioner. I've been using hair tonic lately, which is kind of like gel, but maybe a little bit different. e5 might be coming. F4 is just not a good move. I'm not playing well. Maybe it's okay. Maybe I have 95. I do have the time advantage. Wow, is rook b4 a threat? I'd probably just allow it. Take twice. It's getting uncomfortable. My queen is stuck. Close to getting unstuck. It's still not great. Dirty flag. That's the magic of no increment. Will the hair tonic make me a better chess player? No guarantee, but maybe? Why not 14 queen takes a7? Let's see. Yeah, it looked like my opponent stumbled into a trap, but rook b8's actually useful here. To be honest, I did not consider this move at all. It's probably too risky, like there's c4, I assume. And then I lose back the pawn, my queen gets a bit stuck. I should have at least been aware that the pawn is hanging, though. Yeah, later turned into a mess. F4 was not a good move. Engine likes rook FB1 or rook AB1. All right. Wait, how do I? Okay, playing Lennis again. I do have to be careful here. Knight G5 or Bishop G5. Considering G6. Also considering Knight A5. Even Knight B8. Looks ridiculous, but take. Maybe it's okay. Calculation is Bishop G5, I take. If takes, I have G6. And if takes, we trade rooks. I think it's okay. I have to play C6. F5 coming. Take. I think I just have to allow it. So H6 is a interesting move. H6, Queen H6, takes. Probably not surviving there. If F6. F6, Queen G4. Type of move I should have played much quicker. I have zero. It showed me with 0.0 seconds. How is that possible? Okay, here it shows me with 0.1 second. Maybe some server lag. What to do? Rookie 1 was not the best pre-move. Almost had perpetual there. But it's hard to find perpetual with 10 seconds left. Okay. I think this will probably be my final game. I think this is some idea. C3. Curious about F5 too. There's line takes. What do I do? It doesn't see it. I'm still in trouble though. I'm actually still in trouble. I take? Bishop E3 queen. No, I'm definitely losing material here. Yeah, this is actually pretty bad. Maybe this move. E5 I take. Try and hold on to my C3 pawn. If I take and then C5, maybe A5. Huh. Now C6, and the knight is not easy to remove, which means the pawn won't be easy to remove. The game goes on. Running some cheapo tactic. Breakthrough is coming. Too slow. I would have needed to get in some more multi-pre moves. What to do? There knight c7 after queen f6. Yeah, I should have been completely losing. I think there were a lot of strong lines for white. Like this position, I was scared of pawn takes pawn. Hitting the bishop, if I take, white can take on e6, threatening mate. So I have no time to take the rook. Engine says queen f5, but queen f5 is a decent try, but then just takes. But then what happened in the game was even worse for me. Yeah, knight c7 was possible. e5 was possible. Knight f8's the best move. But white kind of let the edge slip. So here apparently takes an a3, and yeah, eventually it's hard to hold on to this. Okay, I am going to wrap things up. It was a long streaming day. I was live for, I think, between 5 and 6 hours today, between the 2 Title Tuesdays. So big thanks to everyone tuning in. Oh, there's a question, who won TT? There was a 4-way tie for first. I think Razulov won on tie breaks. But there was also Fabiano, Kozak, and someone else. So, yeah, I'm ending things. Stay tuned for more content. And I'll see you guys soon.